Jan 6 law enforcement have had enough. They've now gotten together, at least two major leaders of that group, who protected democracy on Jan 6 against great personal sacrifice, who were maimed and wounded, and some died, and then had their honor disrespected and undermined by Donald Trump, who pardoned the very people, the very criminals who attacked them. They don't have the plaque that Congress approved for January 6th, a brass plaque in the halls of Congress commemorating what they did, because Mike Johnson won't put it up because of political pressure, because of Donald Trump's union and his joining forces with Jan 6 insurrectionists and QAnon theorists and all sorts of conspiracy theorists, and then awarding, they had no problem giving Ashley Babbitt's family, a woman who with a backpack and military training tried to get down the end of the speaker's hallway to kill elected officials. What do people think she was going to do when she reached the end of that hallway if she wasn't stopped by one bullet? Hand out daisies? No, that's not what she was going to do. Has anybody seen the video of Ashley Babbitt? She looked like a demented, crazed animal. All right? And so that happens. There's a settlement with Ashley Babbitt's family for millions and millions of taxpayer dollars. Then you got Donald Trump this week disgracing and demeaning the memory and Black Americans by ripping the name off of a fort that was honoring the highest ranking Black officer, male officer, and the then highest ranking female Black officer in the Army during World War II, and taking their names off. Fort Gregg Adams, no longer. Now returned to being Fort Lee. But not that Lee, because they like to play games. Not Robert E. Lee. It's named after another guy, a private in the Spanish-American War. They're just using these name switches. And they've had it. And they filed their lawsuit. It is time to put a plaque up for the people that protected our democracy from burning to the ground. Harry Dunn and Daniel Hodges are right. And they filed their new suit. Looks like in Boston, Massachusetts, which I like, actually. It's been filed in I don't know why I said Boston. Their lawyers are from Boston, in the District of Columbia, against Thomas Austin as the architect of the Capitol, who's responsible for getting that plaque up. It's already been approved. You're here on MeidasTouch and on Legal AF. I'm Michael Popok. Let's get to this suit. On paragraph 2, to honor the officers who defended them in 2022, Congress passed a law directing the architect of the Capitol to install a memorial listing the names of the officers who defended the building and those inside. Yet after the law was passed, the politics around Jan 6 changed, and many politicians who once spoke plainly about the dangers of that day began to rewrite history and minimize the terror of the attack. 4 years since Congress passed the law, and 3 years since the deadline for its installation has lapsed, the memorial has not been put up. Plaintiff Harry Dunn is a former officer, because he retired after this bloodbath that was the Capitol attack. He was an officer of the U.S. Capitol Police, Hodges of the Metropolitan Police Department. Both men defended the Capitol on Jan 6th and risked their lives to do so. They bring this suit to compel Congress to follow its own law and install the mandated memorial, to honor the women and men who saved the lives of those inside the building, and to ensure that the history of this attack on the Capitol and on democracy is not forgotten. They go through the entire statement of facts about the attack on the Capitol, including the role of Mike Pence and the attempted hanging of Mike Pence, and their role in protecting democracy with an outmatched and outnumbered and poorly weaponed. They didn't even have the right weapons. The weather, it's heating up, and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather. so you get better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Upgrade your sleep as the weather heats up. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo LegalAF at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/legalaf to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Congress then decides in 2022, the 117th Congress passed a law. Here's the law. It is the sense of Congress that the United States owes its deepest gratitude to those officers of the United States Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police Department, of the District of Columbia, as well as officers from other federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies and protective entities who valiantly protected the United States Capitol, members of Congress, and staff on Jan 6, 2021. The law directed that within 1 year after the enactment of the act, the architect of the Capitol obtain a plaque listing the names of all officers who responded to the violence that occurred at the United States Capitol on Jan 6, 2021. Then they go into the history of the Jan 6 is rewritten, the pardons and the like. And now they're saying it's a violation of the Equal Protection Clause, because they've been arbitrarily discriminated against, as have all similarly situated officers, and they're being denied equal protection of the law being the law that authorized and mandated that plaque go up. And they're also seeking a mandamus. A mandamus is an order from a judge that directs and compels a federal or state officer to do something within their official capacity. So they want a mandamus that requires that the architect of the Capitol install that monument. I'm sure the Department of Justice is going to try to step in, try to take out the architect, try to argue that he does that there's no jurisdiction over him. There's no liability. You can't grant a mandamus, all to continue to sully the name of the fallen. But I want this to be the fight. And I'm so glad that Dunn and Hodges did this, because America needs to see what its president is all about, how he dishonors the memories of those that protected our democracy and our rule of law. He did it with the pardons. He's doing it again with not putting up this statue and this plaque. And the people that were being protected are members of Congress who voted for the plaque, and they know better. Let's see what happens with their answer, and we find out more about which judge is going to be assigned to this case. And I'll cover that all, as I always do, right here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. I'm Michael Popok. I do this kind of reporting about every hour on MeidasTouch, and I do it several times a day over on our companion channel, Legal AF MTN. Come on over there. Help us continue to grow that pro-democracy channel. And I got a brand new podcast every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. here on the MeidasTouch Network. We call it The Intersection, where I sit at the intersection of law and politics. No holds barred. It's me, unvarnished, untethered, unplugged, all here with the type of analysis I think you've come to expect from me on the MeidasTouch Network. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.